This is a trip to the King's Little Path, otherwise known as the Caminito del Rey, which you will find in Andalusia in the Malaga region. A trip that we had planned on doing in early 2020 but had to cancel due to the pandemic restrictions, COVID-19. Finally, in October 2020, we set off in our motorhome on our planned weekend trip. A journey which was an estimated 5-hour drive from where we live, but in actual fact turned into a 9-hour drive due to the sat-nav of Garmin taking us on a long scenic route. I had booked a campsite in advance called the Olive Branch. It was dark by the time we arrived, and Garmin guided us onto a very narrow road that led us down a steep hill. As the road was so narrow and it was dark, I walked in front of the vehicle and guided the driver down the steep hill, as to our left side was a hedge and to the right a sheer drop. Anyhow, we made it without any mishaps, parked up, booked in, made supper and went to bed. The next morning we got up, went out, had a look around and thought, this is going to be tricky trying to drive back up the hill. We quickly decided that this campsite was not suitable for our vehicle, spoke with the owner and decided to move elsewhere. After some tricky manoeuvring, 3 attempts and a little help from our fellow campers, we were on the road again. The Olive Branch campsite also offers B&B facilities and the views are fabulous. After the nerve-wracking exit from the campsite, we explored the area and found another campsite about a 10-minute drive away. Camping Park Ardales. It is situated in a forest on the bank of the dam Conde del Guadalhorce. After a quick cup of tea, we were on the road again and arrived at El Chorro. Chorro is the finish point for the Caminito del Rey trail. The village has a hotel, a shop, a bar and a train station. It is situated by Desfiladero de los Gaitanes, or Gorge of the Gaitanes. I thought this was a great place to fly the drone, but it wasn't so great as there is a hydroelectric power station nearby and the electric currents interfered with the app and kept sending the drone back to its home position. Back in the motorhome, and we drive to Ardales, just a few miles away, along narrow roads with lots of sharp bends. Ardales is the entrance point to the Caminito Trail. Ardales is a small town surrounded by a series of lakes and reservoirs. It is set on the side of a steep hill where typical whitewashed houses sit. There is a castle and caves nearby, but we did not have enough time to explore. Day 2. Time for a hike through the gorge. We drove to El Chorro, boarded the bus which drove us to the entrance point in Ardales. At the time of booking, there was a choice of booking with a guide or go at your own pace. There was only guided tours available, but upon arrival we were given a choice, so we went at our own pace. Hard helmets and a mask were a must. We walked through a short tunnel, walked along a roadway for about a kilometre before reaching the main entrance to the Caminito. The trail is a one-way system and can take up to 2 to 3 hours to complete. It was once known as Spain's most dangerous path and the most dangerous walkway in the world. At over 100 years old, it fell into disrepair, and in 2011, €3.12 million was spent restoring the path, which reopened 4 years later. The pathway is 8 kilometres long, 1 metre wide, and in some places it is 100 metres high and hangs off the cliff side. Children under the 8 years of age and dogs are not permitted. There are security cameras situated along the path, so if you did have a mishap, tour guides would be with you in a short space of time, as they were with me when I dropped a camera battery and it fell underneath the boardwalk, and I was on my hands and knees trying to retrieve it. Nobody had passed me by in 5 minutes, and then a tour guide turned up. We meandered at our leisure, stopping to admire the views and take some photos. And by the way, photographers, tripods are not allowed. The walkway was built for workers to cross between the hydroelectric power points of Chorro Falls and Nahita Nejo Falls. King Alfonso VIII in 1921 crossed the walkway for the inauguration of the dam Conde del Guadalhorce, and it became known by its present name, the King's Little Path, or the Caminito del Rey. The original path was made of concrete and rested on steel rails. In the years leading up to 2013, 4 people have died attempting to climb the gorge. I have reached the end, a walk which took me approximately 2.5 hours. I would say easy to moderate until you reach the end, and after walking over the suspension bridge there are quite a few steep steps to climb. This I would class as moderate to difficult, but well worth a visit. Monday morning, and we start our journey home, taking a different route from the one we came, driving through our dales, past the reservoirs and through the mountain range of the Sierras de Cazorla. Garmin again decided to take us the scenic route, another 9-hour drive in the dark along narrow roads. If you enjoyed watching this, hit the like button and also hit the subscribe button to see where I go next.